We've journeyed through 8 cities across Africa, uncovering visionary entrepreneurs who are fearlessly tackling real-world challenges. From setbacks to breakthroughs, they've proven that resilience is at their core. Now, our 8 finalists have arrived in Mauritius, where they'll spend a week learning what it takes to think globally, win over customers, and connect with angel investors. But the real test is yet to come. They'll pitch to our panel of judges for a chance at a collective $100,000 investment. Who will rise to the challenge, and who will crack under pressure? Welcome to the final of the Do Hard Things Challenge. Today, our finalists take on one of the toughest business challenges, pitching their ideas to potential customers and partners. First up is Laddie from Ladx. Will her pitch be enough to win over Miggs, CEO of Gift.mu?
My name is Miggs. A little bit about Gift.mu. Are in operations for the last 5 years in Mauritius. Last year they did we did about 26,000 e-gift cards across the country.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Okay, so my name is Laddie. So before coming, of course, I went on Gift.mu to check about what you do and how you do it. And I have to say, what you're doing is really incredible because of recent, my sister had her 20th birthday, and I was confused about what to get her. So if we had this in Rwanda, that would probably make a lot of things easier.
I have a lot of empathy and a lot of time for entrepreneurs being in this space. I think she's a great individual. I think she was nervous. She did the research. She knew more than most people when we get to know them.
So basically, we realized that the cost of sending items within one African country to another African country is still 10 times more expensive than sending, say, from Africa to Europe or Asia.
So some of the things that came up in the conversation was around the mule aspect. Using human beings, which historically are the most unreliable, unpredictable species on this planet, to transport something from A to B, and you're expecting things to go right all the time, every single time. I think it might be a little bit naive to start with. I think there's got to be incentives or some form of rewarding for the behavior of those individuals saying and doing what they're going to be doing. So for me, the concept in itself is a little bit unique. Firstly, obviously we're going to be expanding, and this is a very viable option once we get to a certain point, right? But what is it going to cost me? Is that $6 per kilo? That's what you're going to charge me. So obviously I'm going to pass that charge on to the consumer, and then therefore, where's the weighing happening?
So when the items, like I said, the items don't go directly to the traveler. The item comes to us first, we weigh them, we repackage them before giving it to the traveler. And so what we do is when it gets to the traveler, it's at the airport, and they deliver to us at the airport as well. So
they walk to a Ladx station at the airport. You have a kiosk, for example. They go there, they pick up their parcel, they go there, everything's pre-dusted, weighed already, and then they just come and go. So they're effectively mules. Okay, cool. So, but you charge me $6. If Ladx could be a one-stop shop for us, we could potentially definitely look to use them in our value chain as a valued partner, because it aligns with what we're trying to do, which is a pan-African e-gifting and then offline gifting company. So holistic value proposition from that perspective. But the human mules worry me a little bit. Also from a contents perspective, how are they going to check what we send? Where does the liability lie? If there's drugs, if there's this, you're opening yourself up to a lot of can of worms. So the idea is good. The implementation, I think, is a little bit green. So the technology that we're talking about, even a simple API handshake between what we do and somebody else, takes a dev guys 2 weeks and on top of that, integrate a payment gateway and then segment everything else. It is much longer than people actually realize what it actually is. And that, for me, is a flag. It's a big flag. Where do we automate? How do we scale this value proposition? So for me, the type of questions that she asked seemed superficial. So I would recommend for her to almost come with more questions and get me talking. So human beings, and me, myself in particular, we all love talking about ourselves. We want to communicate to you and we want to tell you our problems. So for her to spend almost the 80-20 rule, right? Let the customer talk for 80% because they might give you snippets into what their pain point actually is and what maybe they're not telling you. So she already picked up one or two things from what I was saying, and I think by engaging with me and asking me more and more questions around my thinking, around my strategy, around my problem statements, around etc., she'll get a better understanding of what my pain points are, and therefore she will be able to address them, or her business will be able to address them. I think you saw in the interview there was already where she said, okay, well then we can potentially do this. That was a great example. She kept asking questions and I was giving her information, and unconsciously I'm actually sharing with her my pain points. She picked up on it and can do it. If she spends a little bit more time kind of deep diving or finding out, you know, what else could there be that is a pain point of mine and help me with it, why wouldn't I use it?
Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thanks so much for your time.
Yes, it's been a pleasure. Could we shake to it?
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Cool.
Next up is Dennis from Emotti, trying to sell his business to one of Mauritius's most ambitious real estate projects, Mocha.
So hi, I'm Samuel de Resini. I'm the General Manager of Mocha Smart City, a large-scale project in the heart of Mauritius. So it's the idea is to create a new smart city in the heart of the island, well accessible. We are working with a big team of the ENL Group on this project for 15 years now. We are more or less at 1/3 of the total development area. We are very proud of where we are at now, but still we have some hurdles. One of them is mobility. So I'm very, very happy to have listened to Dennis from Emotti, his solutions on electric buses mobility. It was quite cool.
Yes, my name is Dennis Kirara Mushoki. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Emotti, and I'd love to take you through my presentation.
Dennis has a lot of energy, so I was happy to understand his values and the way he wants to impact positively the way people live. That's what we try to do in Mocha, creating a better lifestyle for people living in Mocha, but also people from outside coming in Mocha for education, for sports, for leisure, or anything. So I'm very keen for meeting Dennis and his solutions, and I hope he will be able to operate his solution in Mauritius and in Mocha.
We at Emotti strive to enable you to bring connectivity through movement. So, who are we? Who is Emotti? Emotti is a tech-enabled transport solution provider, and we use this technology, and I'll explain what else, to make transport more reliable, affordable, convenient, and eco-friendly.
I think Dennis has a good vision on how mobility should work. So basically integrate the user experience in the product itself of mobility. So the app is definitely a key tool for public transport operators. However, the product and solution is not the whole process. You need to have the legal context on how public transport is organized in Mauritius, the various stage of authorizations needed to access to a market, to new bus lines, and also being aware of how the competition is getting organized because of those hurdles. So some public transport is now free in Mauritius because it's associated with some paid services. So Dennis did not seem to be aware of it.
This is now in Kenya. This is one of our buses. It's purely electric. It serves 77 passengers, both sitting and standing.
Sorry, how many passengers?
77. Yes, 77 passengers. I'd love to introduce Manara. And the reason why I'm doing this is to show you how Emotti and Manara can be able to merge, to be able to bring, as you said, a vibrant community, being able to have those coffees, but then move those people from their homes to those coffee areas or their offices conveniently. So
his first time in Mauritius, that's new for him, but I think he has a good vision, a good understanding on how it should be working, but the how is not that clear yet. However, his drive easily feel his will to move forward and to impact things for a better lifestyle and better facilities for users. So I think that's a good start for him.
Thank you for listening to me. There's a lot we can be able to do with Mocha Smart City. Our ethos is built on technology. So being able to integrate that into your dream and crafting our product into something that will benefit your community and help you build that vibrant community is definitely at the heart of it.
I would advise him to connect with a local partner in the country where he wants to develop his offer. I think he already presented his team in the presentation, so he has a strong team, but none of them are from the local country where he wants to operate. I think that's a weakness. I think he should find a local partner who share the same values and the same vision. Together, they could be stronger to offer a product that is more contextualized to the market he will serve. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you so much.
Plenty for Emotti to reflect on from Samuel. It's essential to have a partner who aligns with your business values and vision. We now explore the education sector with Samar from Edulga. Will her idea win over Jeremy, Dean of the African Leadership College?
Hi, my name is Jeremy Raitis. I'm the Dean of African Leadership College of Higher Education. That's our Mauritius campus, which was, we opened up in 2015. And then of course we have our campus in Rwanda, which is called African Leadership University. So basically our learning approach at African Leadership University is about, at the essence of it is teaching our students to learn how to learn, to be future ready. We do this through learning by doing, experiential learning, whether that's in the classroom or out in internships, or when our students are actually doing real life projects with people in industry. We've all heard that, by 2030 Africa is going to have the largest workforce globally, and currently the majority of our population is under the age of 25, or between the age of 19 and 25. So why I share this is because leveraging technology to make education accessible is not an option that we should think about. It's a must. We have to do it. And that's really one of our goals and missions at ALU, is to make education accessible so that we can develop the next generation of ethical and entrepreneurial leaders for Africa and globally.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. My name is Samar El Galban. I'm an engineer, just graduated last year, and also the founder and CEO of Edulga. And at Edulga, we're trying to revolutionize education, creating the digital dimension of the new educational system for the digital age, basically. And that's through connecting knowledge worldwide.
It's always refreshing and to meet a founder that's passionate about the mission and what they're trying to achieve. I think she's got that. I think she's trying to solve a real problem. It's clear that she's in love with the problem as well. At ALU we say, fall in love with the problem, not your solution. And the pitch was fantastic. She's an AL person.
Just reflecting on the gap over here, trying to show you over the years how the gap is quite changing. So in the Industrial Revolution over here, you will see technology and education. Technology used to surpass education until education really catched up, and we reached a prosperity space where educational advancements and academia advancements really was the one that carried advancement in the industry. What we see right now is shifting, and it's shifting to a very critical space.
In terms of the product itself, I think I leave the space with more questions than definitive answers whether we're going to move forward with it, just purely to see how it will fit within what we're trying to achieve on our campuses. What I mean by this is, you know, we deal quite a bit with regulators. How can we, you know, and bridging the gap between regulators, what we're trying to do, and then industry, and trying to bring those in together. She needs to get into spaces and pitch as many schools, universities as possible. I think the benefit of that is the more she gets her word out there, the more people start thinking about this, thinking about how pedagogy needs to change and develop. Because the reality of it is, as I mentioned earlier, the big players in this space don't have the answers to this. The AI question, and they're only thinking about it in one way. So the more she's out there, the more these conversations are happening, I think the more input and more collaboration actually may stem from it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Babu from Whatsnxt is stepping up, aiming to capture the attention of Yuri, CEO of Otayo, with his event management business.
My name is Yuri Sipin, living in Mauritius since 15 years, and I'm the CEO and owner of Otayo. Acquired the company 10 years ago, and since then I've been bringing a lot of innovation to the operation of Otayo. It was more a traditional company. Physical tickets, no real website, app, not technology based. So for me it was acquiring a company and added it to my group. It's called the ABZ Group. It's the largest internet group in Mauritius.
Yuri, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. I'm excited to learn more about what you guys do. But again, thank you so much for being here.
So a pleasure having you in my office, and I look forward to learning more about your business and app, and also about you as a person.
Perfect. I think first starters for me is just trying to understand more about Otayo and what you guys do, and how long you've been in operations and what's happened over the last couple of years, at least within the events industry, since we're both in that.
Company was incorporated 18 years ago. I can say that first, it's clear that he is very skilled, and I like his energy, and you can see the drive. And beyond that, he's also definitely, I was impressed by his skill because he presented well. You can see that he covered a lot of aspects. I did challenge him, not too much, but he did cover a lot of aspects and challenges that he may face. So I am impressed by his skill for sure, and he is as an entrepreneur.
Particularly in South Africa, where we're from. But people say that they're missing out on events all the time. Whereas if you look at the ticketing sites, there's so many events that are being posted. So why are people not attending them or finding them? But that's what's the problem we're having was ticketing isn't the only issue that people are experiencing, because there's enough ticketing platforms out there, but they're just not finding the right events. And that's what we thought about then, is how do we solve the problem of event goers having to juggle all these different things. You have to search through thousands of websites, you have to search through all the local ticketing sites, you have to search through social media just to get one event that you might not even end up going to, versus organizers struggling with obviously the low attendance and the high vendor cost of some of these. Running an event takes a bit of money, and if you can't actually get people to come to it.
But I just know that it's a tough journey, you know, and he will have some hurdles along the way. One of the catch-22 that he will have is that he needs a lot of crowd and a lot of people using the app to be able to monetize and offer it to companies like my company, Otayo, and any other company. We need to see the crowd. We need to see that a lot of users using the app. To do that, you need a big funding. So I don't see, the catch is that you will not be able to offer added value to us on B2B basis, and for the customer, again, you will need to invest a lot to get enough events and content.
So with the organizers, I mentioned that we want to add value to the organizers as well. So with our platform right now, you can create, manage and promote events. Right? So you're able to do the same thing, that you can start your event, etc. Add the different sort of things, add tickets, market your event within the platform. So when someone jumps in, they can see this sort of thing. We thought giving everyone the ability to create events allowed more events to happen. So it's not just the big concerts or the big events, but it's the small ones like the karaoke night at this small restaurant or the paint and sip at this place. Yeah, so the smaller events are what we also cater for, because we saw that for the big concerts, etc., ticketing platforms are really great for that, but people don't think about that when thinking about the smaller events. So how do we get them to?
I think that what was a different point he has to work on is answer concerning the fees and the offering to B2B. He came to meet me as a business partner, and when I asked him what would be the fees, what exact services and how you integrate with my platform, he didn't have an answer, and it was clear that he was not prepared for it. So if already we came to the point that he's offering me the services as a potential business partner, you definitely need to do your homework and know the fees, the inclusion, and the specifications.
Thank you so much, Yuri. Appreciate it.
Yuri definitely had some tough questions and great advice for what's next. Next up is Dina from Sinq, who's hoping to hook one of Mauritius's biggest companies, CL Textile.
Hi, I'm Ruben Munya. I'm based in Mauritius, and my role today is head of HR for the region, Mauritius and Madagascar. CL Textile is part of CL Group, one of the biggest operating companies in Mauritius. And CL Textile, we are 23,000 employees today. We operate in Mauritius, Bangladesh, Madagascar, and India. And we produce for famous brands across the globe. And it's really a pleasure to host you here. We are on the quest of looking for digital learning solution to put on our LMS and to make it accessible to our employees.
I am Dina, co-founder of Sinq. It is a learning design company, learning experiential design company. So we take learning contents and competencies that could be the attitudinal, skill-oriented, or knowledge from different companies and turn them into an experiential one.
One thing to consider for such large group as us, we are permanently solicited by many professional companies across the world, from Canada, from Austria, from India, to come and present the product. So what needs to be understood is competition is already here. So if you want to make the difference, you must be having something really exceptional and something really unique. What is the uniqueness of your proposition? So for me, it's something I always ask and look, because typically 95% of all e-learning solutions resemble. What makes the difference is this 5% that has got something special with it. Right, in terms of experience, in terms of innovation. Probably, this is what I was waiting for. And one advice I would give to her, what is the uniqueness of your product? And push this forward, convince me, show me that you are the best in the world onto this one. I am exceptional onto this one.
So when I see the CL Textile, what comes in my mind was how fashion is a language. So I was very impressed to see your work. I mean, fashion is a language, and you are trying to connect different countries. You are functioning in 4 countries, and you are trying to make them speak the same language. Fashion is a storytelling, which coincides with us. We try to express things through storytelling, whether it's a music, whether it's a drawing, whether it's animated video, whether it is a story to be narrated, and whether it's a fashion.
Being myself a content developer for the group, so it's true, I totally align with what Ruben said. It's kind of most of what we usually see, what other companies provide us. So it's true, since we are going, the Gen Z is going to enter the market, so pushing them to learn, we need to have the engagement, we need to have them with us. So forcing them to learn won't really make it work. So let's say just thinking about, let's say something 3D, 5D, something that yes, it's a digital world, so you just wear specs and just click on there. So make it as if, create that hunger of, hey, I want to know more.
It's about experiencing themselves, the learners themselves. It's going to be experiential, self-paced with their own time. It is on the go. They could take it with a flexible time that is very agile, time flexible and interactive.
However, I must say that the whole digital aspect is very good. She pitched it well. That yes, we understand that it should go digital. We're talking of a very new generation. However, we need to understand that our industry comprises of different educational backgrounds. You know, we have people of 26,000 people from Bangladesh, Mauritius, Madagascar, India, whereby you're going to have different backgrounds, different cultures. And for us, that's key, that if you're going to come with a digital proposition, how are you going to be able to connect and interact with all these different cultures? And we wanted to be able to see what impact this must have had with other similar kind of industries. I felt that the training needs, or the needs analysis, was a bit on a fairly weak side. It could have been more improved on that. So the way it was coming to us was a very generic proposition and asking, do we want to partner with you straight away? And the answer would be straight away, no, not at that point in time.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much.
Ruben definitely had high hopes for Sinq. Will they manifest? Only time will tell. Coming up next is Abdurrahman from Novate, who is looking to impress both Nicholas and John, two veteran entrepreneurs in the remote working sector.
I'm Nicholas Goldstein. I'm the co-founder of Talenteum.
I'm John Benetwil, co-founder of Talenteum.
So at Talenteum, we are changing lives of people by letting them work remotely with international companies. So we are basically a matching platform, helping African qualified talents to work remotely with international companies. As John was saying, we are an impact company. We are changing lives of people by paying them a decent salary, by letting them work from where they are. We are fighting against brain drain, and that's why you are an impact company. And I think in this world, we need to think about what is the future of the talents. And the future of talents is we have to let them work wherever they are. And we are here with the AI platform, helping them find a job remotely. Hello Abdou, welcome to you in Mauritius.
So thank you for having me.
Great.
So what I have today here is a patent software that gives the ability of your talent to work with companies in the US remotely in one environment. And this is like the demo of how the software, our software is going to be. Let me go from the very beginning. Sorry, with the environment, and as you can see.
I think maybe we can test the solution. He provided us a study from Stanford, in which it's proved that the virtual reality can help the social interactions, and we ask people working remotely together. So with this solution, we can make the distance shorter. And I really enjoy him. I think he really thinks in what he's doing, and that's why anyway, when in January I'm going to visit our subsidiary in Morocco, it's going to be a pleasure for me to meet him again, to meet his team, and maybe to try his MVP, and maybe we can try together the MVP remotely.
I think perhaps he could have projected us more deeply into how is an interview between an interview and a company, and how it could be beneficial for us. Now we have perhaps to think on his behalf how we can implement his product. So I should have pushed more on this side as a salesman, because he's a founder, he should be the first salesman. But for me, this is the future. So perhaps it will bring traction to us if we use this technology. So why not using it? So I think we should go ahead.
And we're a startup too, and our job is to make the future right now. So let's try it.
Okay, let's do. Great.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great news for Novate, as both Nicholas and John are definitely willing to try out his product. Next, we have Doreen, who hopes her business, Cipher, will win over Munya from the Pan-African Fund, Grit Real Estate Income Group.
Yeah, so my name is Munya Island. I work for Grit Real Estate Income Group. I head up the debt services function. And just a bit of information about Grit. We're basically a Pan-African fund. We're listed on the London Stock Exchange as well as the Mauritian Stock Exchange. We're predominantly an impact-focused fund, so we concentrate on key asset classes, call it light industrial. We look at a bit of healthcare. We look at data centers across most of Africa. So we're sitting currently at just shy of $1 billion in assets under management. And yeah, it was good having conversation with Doreen, especially having come from the startup space myself and being on the other side and seeing what the bar looks like to actually get a client over the line as it relates to trying a new product.
My name is Doreen Owu. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Cipher. And Cipher is a digital platform that is empowering businesses to securely share and control their confidential documents and files. So with Cipher, what we are doing is we are offering these core features that will help you securely share your files with employees in your organization and also outside your organization. So I'd like to walk you through some of our core features.
There's quite a few things you're trying to solve for. The one element is the moment you start to bring a service provider on board, you want comfort that there is longevity and they are able to continue to walk the journey with you. I think there were a couple of gaps in the context of there was still a lot of work to be done as it related to the product. I think the demo that was shown felt like they were still in the preliminary development phases. Again, the sense that I'm getting is there's still quite a bit of work to be done to get the platform to a stage where it's functional. A lot of the features that you've shown are available in even more basic offerings like Dropbox file sharing, Box, data site. How are you seeing the platform as being different?
What makes us different is the fact that every file you upload, any kind of digital file, be it a photo, a video, or even a document. So we customize it in our own file format, right? So if you share it with anyone and there is a third party trying to access this file, the person can't access the file because our files are in our own customized format and you need our platform to read it. But before you can read that file, you need to be authenticated as the intended receiver of the file. Yes, for platforms like Dropbox, someone can easily intercept, if you are sending the file, someone can easily intercept the file and then decrypt the file and open the file and read the file. But then with our platform, we have an extra layer of security.
From our end, a lot of what matters is just the comfort of knowing that the people on the other end, when they receive the information, they have some form of mechanism to not access it unless they've got some form of password. We hadn't had any instances of data breaches, so maybe I didn't have a context of the problem they were trying to solve. But I think the issue was the product was just not there yet. It's so much easier to pitch something when we've got the ability to call it, get into the product, click through it, understand what it looks like on the end of the receiver and from our end, if you will. But all in all, I've got context of the hard work that gets into it, particularly in those early stages. Even getting the audience with the types of users you're targeting is difficult, but it was good conversation. Once you've got your MVP, I think let's chat. I think it'll be more practical and we can actually run through the nuances of the platform.
Sure.
Okay. Awesome, Doreen. Yeah, thank you so much. Good stuff.
Doreen has a great product idea, but Munya would also like to see an MVP. It's time to get those taste buds buzzing as Gift sets his sights on the food sector. Will his idea be enough to win over restaurant owner Alex?
Well, hi guys, I'm Alex Dalle. Me and my co-founder, Jonathan Reed Ross, got into the restaurant business a couple years ago, and we took over an Italian restaurant and did our best there, but we always had this yearning passion for coffee and breakfast trade, and we really wanted to start a breakfast restaurant here in Mauritius. And throughout COVID, we were going through tough times, keeping our other restaurant going, and this opportunity arose with this beautiful site, and it was just perfect. So we decided to take the leap and get a breakfast and lunch restaurant going here.
Hello, Alex.
Hi, how are you?
Good evening. I'm Gift, a software engineer, and I run Chao, a Nigerian food tech startup, alongside a few of my friends. I'm really curious to understand what the inspiration was for you to build a really beautiful establishment like this. I mean, you really have a beautiful business.
So I was very pleased to meet Gift. I have a lot of respect for the entrepreneurial spirit. I myself am an entrepreneur, and what's always interesting when someone pitches to you is to hear their story. And what he mentioned is that he saw an opportunity. Just like we saw an opportunity to do breakfast here, he saw an opportunity to get food and meals to his fellow university students, and there the business was born. So it's really a pleasure to hear his story. I'm a lover of good coffee and good breakfast, so we decided that we should be pioneering, believe in our gut, believe in what we think Mauritius needs, and we thought that was a good breakfast and brunch restaurant. And a lot of people thought that the culture wasn't there and that people don't really go out for breakfast in Mauritius. But we had a feeling that it was missing and it was needed, so we trusted our gut and the results followed. So we are very grateful for that.
Have you faced some unique challenges with maybe handling a lot of customers?
So I was very happy to hear about what his platform was capable of. What I thought was interesting about it is that it was multifaceted, because here in Mauritius we have had guys who have set up a delivery program, but when he's combining the loyalty program, the QR code menus, and the customer feedback platform, it becomes a different animal and it becomes a more holistic restaurant tool and product. So I think that it definitely has potential, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it can be applied to our business. For example, we have an excellent point of sale, but it lacks in its loyalty program and its functionality on the loyalty program, and the QR code menu functionality for ordering is also not where it could be. So it would be great if we could find a way that his system could collaborate with our existing point of sale.
Particular region?
I must say it's got an Uber Eats feel to it, which looks quite pro.
Thank you.
So on your front end, I must compliment you on the layout and the look. And you've got the distances,
yes,
the
ratings and all of that. So we'll be open to having a demo with your store. We're going to talk with my team, probably take your menu, and we're going to do something around it and show you how it's going to work live.
My advice to someone like Gift is to always remember that all big businesses started somewhere, and to keep the faith in his gut feel and what he wants to achieve, and to learn through the process of each interview, each opportunity, each failure. There's no such thing as a failure, there's only lessons. And I think he's young and he's got a great passion for what he's doing, and he can only go in the right direction with that attitude. So I really wish him all the best, and I think I hope he inspires his friends around him and continues on his mission to develop this product into something that everybody needs.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
You too.
The finalists faced a difficult challenge, and it's about to get even harder. Next time, we'll see how they navigate the world of angel investors and deliver their elevator pitches. Don't miss the next episode of the Do Hard Things Challenge to see how they fare.